My biggest regret was selling my estate agency. Today, I'm joined by Sharon Carter, who is an estate agent from the East Midlands, East Anglia, and she's here to talk to me about how something quite fundamental in her life meant that she ended up selling her agency. She said it's the biggest regret of her life.
So I think it's really important that if a business owner is having because the biggest mistake of my life is selling up and retiring. Massive mistake. And I did that. And it actually sort of ties in with them being on your own. And Angie has just done a podcast, hasn't she, saying what next? And to be honest, that actually ties in really well with that, because making those big decisions too quickly, thinking that retirement is the answer, absolutely not. And I'm not sure how to kind of get that across, because there are more and more people who are now going to be getting to that retirement type age, and they're selling, and it's a big thing to sell off and retire and all the rest of it. I'm not sure. So, like, for example, would agents together be useful for people coming to what they think is their end, particularly if it comes at a bit of a surprise? Because I didn't plan on doing that, and then I did it as a gut reaction, and it was a twattish thing to do. That is my biggest regret ever. I shouldn't have sold when Neil died. I should not have sold. I should have given myself a moment. However, on the flip side to that, they say everything happens for a reason. So after I'd sold, not many months after, Mum had the brain aneurysm. So if I hadn't sold, would I have been able to dedicate the time to Mum that I did? Probably not. But then I had a team, so I could have done. It's just I'm a bit obsessive. But it is still the biggest. I wish I hadn't done it. And actually, that being the business owner and being successful and well known in the area, all that kind of stuff, market leader, to suddenly selling and being nothing and nobody, it's really weird to adjust to. Really weird.
If you don't mind me saying, Sharon, for those that don't know, who was Neil?
He was my partner, on and off, because unfortunately he had his issues. And
It's all right.
where'd that come from?
No, it's all right.
Yeah, so he took an overdose.
And did you kind of like throw the baby out with the bathwater and kind of got rid of all the crap?
Yeah, I mean, so that's very embarrassing.
There's nothing to be embarrassed about. He was your life partner, and a lot of people have very interesting relationships, on-off relationships. You know.
Where did that come from, though?
I
It was
don't
years
know.
ago. I've got that under control.
No, but it's still there. It's never going to go away, is it? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's on and off partner, and you made some big life decisions at the wrong time.
Yeah, so he took an overdose and died, and I very quickly I didn't blame
I
myself.
was about to say, did you feel guilty about it?
So I felt guilty, but I didn't blame myself, but I felt that I hadn't dedicated enough time to him, and I didn't prioritize him. And it was a very difficult relationship, and very on and off, because of the circumstances of how his
Yes.
health was. So I wasn't actually officially with him at the point that he died, but I cared. He's a human being, and this is why I'm so passionate about caring in the industry. and never judging people.
So you sold the business because it was almost get rid of all the baggages and
Do
okay,
you want me to tell you what actually happened?
go for it.
So it was just before his funeral. I went into the office and everyone was on the phone. So the phone was ringing. I picked up the phone and it was actually a landlord moaning because it cost him like 40 quid for a contractor to put a couple of smoke alarms up. And I actually said, don't you think there's better fucking things to be thinking about? And I put the phone down on him. And then I thought, my God, like, I know I can be feisty, but that is ridiculous. That's rude. Um, I'd had a corporate who wanted to buy me for a long time because I was market leader. I walked out of the office. I made a phone call and said, if you want it, it's yours. I want it completed by this date. They said yes. That was it. Done. Literally. And I think, so at that point, I had, like, Neil's funeral hadn't happened. I hadn't. You'd also seen how people were fearful of conversation with you because of the way in which he died. So you felt very alone. Um, and my gut was saying, you probably didn't need to do this. But I ignored it again. And now when I look back, actually that was the beginning of the whole change in my body in so many ways. But yeah, so I just sold it and I thought, oh yeah, I'll retire. This will be lovely. And then I thought, now what? Because my phone, and this is our inner ego, and you know, we do all have one. But suddenly nobody needed me. My phone wasn't ringing. Nobody gave a shit. They were uncomfortable to talk about the way in which Neil had died. They didn't need me for advice or anything else. So the phone was silent. And it was a very, very lonely phase of life. And at that point, I could have still changed my mind, but it was getting to the point where it was too late. And then I just let it go. And that was that. And then I drifted for quite a few years. So I'd say to anybody, be very careful. If something dramatic happens, don't always think that selling the business is the way forwards, that retiring is the way forwards. And even if it isn't after something like death, you know, be much more conscious, be unemotional at the point where you make that decision. And you know, if you are the only business owner, because it's different if there's 3 or 4 of you, you all have to agree to it. If there'd been another business owner, you know, sharing the business with me, they would have taken the slack and they would have reeled me in and balanced me out. But I had nobody to do that. So I just went, fuck it, done. Um, I mean, we have the agents together cushion. Perhaps, I'm not sure whether they existed then. I don't think they did. But maybe that would have been, but would I have picked up the phone? Probably not, because of everything that was going on at the time. I became so insular and just hid away.
Certainly, I know a number of people who have used Agents Together as just someone who as a sounding board.
Yeah.
I've been there, done it. People I'd certainly recommend that you'd shout out to if you're in that position is Angie Cooney.
Yeah, because she's just sold, hasn't she? And released her podcast, Now What? And it's so true. Now what? And I think that was my problem. And then mum had a brain aneurysm. So then I was fully focused on mum, which was great because it kind of got me out of my head for a little while. But then mum came back home from hospital, thank God.
And you need to that problem still needs sorting out.
Absolutely.
You put it on ice, you still
Yep,
can sort it.
absolutely. So it just delayed that. Mum came home from hospital and then I'm like, okay, now what? And then I drifted and I dabbled in bits.
Okay. You've come out the other side because you've just started in an estate agency where you are with someone else.
With 2 business partners, yeah.
So that's going to be new. Not only starting your own agent, but with someone else. Because again, you're feisty.
I'm hard work, can I?
Yeah.
It's very different, yeah. But
if you don't mind me saying, there is a certain glow to you in a good way. I can see that.
I hope so.
I know, I can see it. Even I know we've not met face to face that often, but I can tell in your voice.
I'm much more enthused about I now have a structure. I had no structure. So I was doing coaching and recruitment and also a bit of his agency. But I didn't have to do any of it. And I didn't.
So actually
have
the business partners are actually going to help and guide you on that because you almost you've got to do it for them. If you're having a wobble, you have a responsibility, don't you?
Yeah, so they very kindly asked me to come on board with them. They're not actually agency experienced. I'm the one with the agency experience. So I now need to lead again. I need to lead the agency, and clearly that's what I thrive on.
Well, we'll see how we get on. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for your insight. And please do reach out to Sharon. She's on LinkedIn and Facebook if you've got any questions. Thank you for your time today, Sharon.